Thanks for coming to my talk. This is very exciting. Wow. Okay. My name is Josh, as Hannah said. I have a slide about this. Yes, this is me. I made games. Hannah said everything already. Okay. Let me set the stage. Maybe if you've been around the platform for a while, you know about these games. These are tycoons. We call them tycoons, but they are not tycoons in the conventional sense. They're games with conveyor belts that drop little parts on them, and then they touch a thing and you get money. You just stand around and you earn money. Yeah. It's very strange. This has been a bizarre staple genre for a very long time. It's still kind of a thing. Very bizarre. But here's me in 2008, I think, and this seems like a weird thing. Like, why can't I just stand and earn money passively? I want to make a tycoon game where you, like, do stuff to earn money. So this is Lumber Tycoon 1, 2008. Thank you, I guess. So this is my first attempt to address this problem. And it worked okay. It was well received. And indeed, you did have to do things to earn money. If you stood and did nothing, then nothing would happen. But still, not super fun to me. There's not really any consequential player choices. The upgrades are all very linear. Everything's decided for you. Not super exciting. I guess good for the time. But let's fast forward to 2015, and I get an opportunity to do the very first incubator program at Roblox, which was very, very exciting. And I decide I'm going to try once again to tackle this problem. Lumber Tycoon 2, the sequel, yes, which is what I'm talking about right now. So in my second attempt, I want to ditch this linear upgrade path with the buttons on the floor and everything, and try to make something a little more modern, and something that can really empower players to be creative, to make solutions to their problems in whatever ways they want. So in this talk, I'm going to talk about the design process of this game, what I was thinking when I was figuring out what I wanted to do, and a little of a retro on what worked and what did not. So first thing I did is set some goals. Goals are useful to set at the start of a project so that you can keep yourself focused, make sure you know what you're actually chasing after. So the first goal, make a game I want to play. It's a pretty not very interesting goal. This could be applied to anything. So to make this more actionable, I would translate that to a creative experience. Because for me, the games I enjoy most tend to be creative experiences in some way. You're building stuff or you're finding creative solutions to problems. Second goal, same thing, very generic goal, make a game other people want to play. But to make that more specific, I would say, once again, a refinement on this Roblox Tycoon genre thing and try to make the next generation of an engaging tycoon. Third goal, make money. All right. So design. All right, let's talk about it. So this is kind of ripped from the slide deck that we originally made in this incubator program, and Sorkis told us, you're going to make this slide deck, and you're going to present this concept, and we're going to greenlight it or not. And if not, then we're going to force you to work with somebody else on another game. So these are tense presentations. But anyway, my first inspiration was RuneScape. And specifically, I was inspired by how it executes on progression through physical space. Lots of games do this, but I chose this. So the world starts out seeming very large for new players, and then as you progress, access to the world expands, and you get money, and you're able to pay tolls to get through new places. So I thought this was cool. I wanted to make a similarly large world that as you progress through the game, you get access to more trees, more whatever. Yeah. Second inspiration is Minecraft. This is 2015, And what I'm inspired about from Minecraft is, so at this time, Minecraft is a very strange game because it's super highly retentive, but entirely non-objective gameplay. There's not really anything to do in Minecraft, but people love it. And I love that. I want to make something that people just love to play in, and there's not really hard goals that you're trying to push them towards. Third inspiration, this was the most helpful. I did a little case study on Pizza Place. So I actually went into this game and interviewed players and tried to figure out what made this game work. And I actually learned some really great things. So it seemed like the major retention factor was this really good house building system. And the entire rest of the game is in support of this house project. So you're working at the pizza place to earn income and make money to build your house. It's really all about the house. And the house is a long-term project you're coming back to at every play session. It's a form of creative expression. And I came up with a little bit of a hypothesis here about this. And I'm thinking that what's key here is probably that what the house is a canvas for creative expression, and if you can give players that, then that will retain them. It's all about letting them express. And the other thing about this that was interesting that I observed is it seems like that there's this interesting social motivation happening where new players will see the super cool houses from the veteran players, and that will motivate them to stay in the game and work hard to get to the same level, and then that cycle perpetuates for a long time, and that keeps people in the game. So social motivation, creative projects, I think this is cool. I want to make a game where players similarly can build stuff and be inspired by each other. Okay, that's inspiration. Next, pillars. This is another thing that we were instructed to set up as a part of the incubator program, and this ended up being very helpful. So for my first pillar, empower creativity. So, if you don't know about pillars, it's basically like central core ideas that your whole game comes back to. So everything in your game should be in support of these central ideas. So for me, empower creativity. Want to make a game where players can build whatever they want. And again, back to my goal, I want to make a creative game. And similar to Pizza Place, if it's visible to other players, then it generates this social motivation thing. And the other thing, if I make a creative game, then if players are making their own content, then I don't have to update the game as much. Huh? Nice. Okay. And second is, personally, I am a big believer in high engagement, really fun interaction, emergent behaviors coming out of heavy use of physics. Just totally embrace it and see what cool things happen. So there's lots of interesting derivatives of this pillar. So for example, in conventional resource collecting gameplay, you might punch a tree, collect units of material, which you can collect into your inventory, and it goes into these slots, and then you can convert it into other items, and you can use it to make stuff. This is how most games do resource collection and material management. So I'm thinking about physics. I'm thinking, what if instead of that, when there's a tree, what if when you chop down a tree, instead you just get a tree that's on the ground? Then what do? You gotta drag it somewhere or something. So I don't know why I wanted to do this. It's a thing that I hadn't really seen around, and I kind of just wanted to see what would happen. But it led to a lot of really interesting things because there's a lot of emergent emergent challenges that come up, like how do you chop down a tree in the most efficient way and pack it into your truck and fit it into the sawmills and fit it into these other things. And it's cool that there's a preservation of your physical intuition. You don't need a tutorial for this. Players intuitively understand the gameplay because it's based on these familiar physical processes. So, and the other thing is that there's also like no inventory at all. You buy stuff like physically in the store by dragging it to a counter and then taking it out of the box, and then you've got to put it in your truck and take it to your base, and you can like put it somewhere, but you don't like have an inventory for it to disappear into. So this is kind of an extreme embrace of this fearless use of physics idea, but I really wanted to see what would happen. So what did happen? So to assess my success, let's go through each of my goals and see how did I attempt to achieve it and was I successful? So goal 1 was make a game I want to play. This is a thing that I made. It's a little trap, and I say free Robux, and I get them to go inside, and then they step on a pressure plate, which, yeah. And then I steal their axes. This is cool. I did have fun making this. I like how creative the game is, how much you can do in it. But, okay, I have a little confession to make about this. I may have cheated to get all the materials to build this thing. I might have hacked them in. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, me personally, I have very low patience for, I do not like playing games. It's way too grindy for me. Even for, I don't know, I think it's too grindy in general, especially for me. So I'm going to call this, unsuccessful. Next goal, make a game other people want to play. That's what really matters. And I think this one, well, let's see. Let me show you a few things people have made. This is a super rad tree house with a dragon and house and things going on. Here's some tweets people have sent me. Helicopters and big buildings. This is like a galleon. Here's a video from Zenak of him showing his technique for the most efficient way to pack your truck full of lava wood, and he got these massive stacks. Wild. There's a bridge that you can pay a toll. No, not door. There's a bridge that you can pay a toll, and it'll lower the bridge, and you can cross it. But this guy's like, well, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to cut up some really long planks and put it across the bridge and drive across it. Okay. Emergent physical behavior. I love it. This man made a working bowling alley with a ball return. This is a functional game of tic-tac-toe that uses the wiring system and buttons to handle user input, and it has wind detection and turns, and this is quite wild. This man made a CPU. I don't know, dude. This is a game of Monopoly that's made in Lumber Tycoon and is lumber themed, and I played it with the guy who made it, and it was like an 8-hour game over 2 days, but it was super fun. The dice is, do you see the, you drop a ball and then he has a wire that it kind of randomly falls into different quadrants. Yeah, I think that, sorry. Oh, it's not, okay, oops, sorry. I had metrics in my notes, but there they are. 400 million people played the game, 87% thumbs up. I would call this a successful one. Goal 3, make money. So my monetization was not super aggressive. It was pretty much pay to accelerate. You can pay to get money, and it helps alleviate the grind a bit. And it also keeps all the content free to all the players who don't want to pay, which is a little bit nice. Not the most optimized, but it works well enough for me. I'm doing fine. This is successful. And, okay. So some of the biggest takeaways, closing points. I think taking the time to think about these pillars at the very beginning to keep me focused was super, super helpful. Like really huge. And another thing is that hypothesis from work at a pizza place on the importance of creativity in a game. I've refined that. I think that what that really is touching on is a deeper importance of empowering players to self-express. So it can take many forms. In Lumber Tycoon and Pizza Place, it's building a house, building cool things. But in other games, it's just like Meep City, dressing up your avatar, whatever. Games like Jailbreak, it's just general freedom, ability to do anything. Self-expression can have so many forms. And I think that is like ultimately one of the most important things for players to really enjoy a game deeply. That's pretty much it.